It's a Zoom world record. More than 100,000 white women mobilized for Vice President Kamala Harris on Zoom.
It's time to just get extra loud.
Pop singer Pink, soccer star Megan Rapinoe, and actress Connie Britton were all on the call.
White women. I mean, here we are. I have to admit, when I was writing stuff down, I was like, Karen's for Kamala? I don't know.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to OT Views. Now I'm guessing all you guys have been hearing throughout this week and some of last week is black woman for Kamala, black men for Kamala, white woman for Kamala, and my favorite one, white dudes for Kamala, sorry. Now to me that sounds a little cringe and weird. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do for votes. Or do you really have to? To me, I just find it really weird that one side of the parties, which is the Democratic side I'm talking about, always talks about the right is racist. Republicans don't care about black people. They're trying to pit other races against each other. But to me, it only seems like one party only focuses on race all the time. They literally use racist tactics to get people to come vote. They literally segregated each voters and said, oh, vote for me, vote for me. Now, if that was on the other end and Trump did that, I think the left will go a little crazy with it. And it's this hypocrisy that I see in American politics, even in Canadian politics too. But American politics, where it blows my mind how one side of the party is allowed to use race tactics and segregation tactics, but if another party was to use those same kind of tactics, they'll be labeled as racist. There's this video that we're gonna watch, but before we start the video, please like, comment, subscribe.
Right? Win with black women, Zoom for Harris. I'm telling you, if these moments get momentum and become a movement, this could be what this election is about. Let's bring in someone who was on the white women for Kamala call, Democratic Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow, and conservative political commentator Liz Wheeler. It's good to have you both. Thank you for joining us. Nice to have you both. Mallory, did I get it right? And what was the vibe, and why this time? Why haven't we seen this before?
You did get the vibe right.
So guys, before we start watching the full video, isn't it weird how one party is using race to gather up votes? But then if Donald Trump was to do it, they'll say, if he does it to black people, he's pandering to tropes about black people. If he does it, how it's white women for Kamala. If there was something called a white men for Trump, the Klan is rallying. They're finding ways to enforce the patriarchy on us. They're looking to set us back. And we're gonna hear so many other buzzwords. I'm a Canadian guy. I'm just looking at what's going on when it comes to American politics. And I'm just giving my opinion. And I can tell you right now that when I look at the left's tactics and the right tactics, I'm seeing a lot more racism on the left side than I am seeing on the right side. And that only one party is allowed to use race, and the other party, if they mention anything about race, they're racist, sexist, homophobic, various other things. Homophobic. I don't know, that just seems a little crazy to me.
It was incredible. First of all, Zoom has never had a meeting larger than 100,000 people. This happened completely organically. Shannon Watts, who's the founder of Moms Demand Action, tweeted in response to the Win with Black Women call that you mentioned that white women should do this. It's on us now. And that took off.
What is it on white women to do for what? Should you guys not look at someone's policies for just their policies and not because of what their race are, what their gender is? If you're going to vote for Kamala, vote for her on what her policies are looking to do, how it's going to change your life. How is you being a white woman gonna have any sort of impact with what Kamala's I don't even know how to say her name. Kamala's policies are. Is it helping for your child's safety? Is it helping your economic? Is it helping the economy? Is it helping your economic environment right now? Are groceries cheap? Or is gas getting cheaper? Is inflation under control? It's not. And I just find it weird that people are still voting for the same thing when it comes to Kamala Harris, because she is on a ticket with Joe Biden and his policies haven't been working. But what they're doing is that they're using gender and race so people don't have to look at the policies, but just vote for Kamala because she's a woman and she's a woman of color. She's black and she's Indian.
And then all of a sudden she had this, oh no, I actually have to figure out how to do this moment. So rallied together with the likes of Glennon Doyle and Indivisible, reached out to Zoom. Zoom had to bring in extra engineers to figure out how to build their platform to handle more people. It crashed multiple times. The donation link went down, and I had to remind many of the white women on the call, if this is the worst thing that happens to us, we're going to be okay. Wait 5 minutes, hit refresh. It was so exciting. And I think to your point, from 2016 to now, white women have seen the impacts of a Donald Trump presidency in a way that we didn't in 2016. There's a level of responsibility knowing that elections are decided by.
So how did Donald Trump affect white women? How did he make their lives more terrible? I want to know. Because when I was looking at the numbers when it comes to the economy wasn't bad until COVID hit. Now, again, you have the mainstream media like CNN, MSNBC, that played a role in people hating Trump and saying that, oh, he's after you as a woman for gender. But I really want to know particularly, what policy did he put in place that affected just white women? Because I don't understand that. And how come Chris Cuomo's not calling her out on that? And he's just listening. What she said made no sense.
By white women, and this energy, I gotta tell you, feels like nothing I've ever felt before.
Well, a couple things. One, they went for him in 2020 also. And when it crashed, you should have said it was rigged, started a conspiracy, blamed the media. I mean, what are you doing, Mallory? Come on, get up on it. All right, Liz, let's remind people why Trump got white women, specifically all of them, but non-college educated, especially against Clinton and Biden. Why? Why would women vote for Trump?
Sure. I think one of the things you said in your monologue was particularly insightful, and that is that Kamala moving forward needs to make the case for why people should vote for her. She hasn't really done that yet. She's only been the presumptive nominee for a couple of days. But I completely disagree with Mallory and with these 200,000 people that were on this Zoom call. First of all, I'm not sure it's a really good look for the Democratic Party to host a whites-only space.
That's all I'm trying to say. Listen, I'm going to say this. As a black man who's watching that, I felt offended. I felt offended because why can't they include, why is it only white women? Now you can say, oh, they did a black-only event. How come there is not an Indian woman for Kamala? Asian woman for Kamala? But it's only black or white. I would have said something. As a liberal man, I find that not as a liberal man, as a black man, I find that unacceptable. I find it wrong.
Events. I don't know that we want to take our country back to something like that, even if it is coming from the Democratic Party. But really, Kamala is extremely dangerous as a candidate. She's very extreme. She's bad for women. She's bad for our country. And you look no further than the border invasion. I mean,
and listen, I'm gonna put it simply. I've looked at her policies, and honestly, not even her policies per se, because she hasn't really put out anything. But I just looked at past stuff that she said I looked at past stuff that she said, especially when it comes to Medicare. Like I said, I'm not American, but as a Canadian watching just how Americans' environment is, I think it's a terrible idea to get Medicare for all. I think there's so many stuff that go into it that I'm not going to talk about right now that it would just hurt America's economy if Medicare actually came into place. But then let's look at her track record when she was in attorney governor or something like that in California. There's been cases of her terrorizing black men when it comes to the jail system, about her hiding evidence. Why is this not being brought up? And I'm going to say this, and I think she's just a black female Justin Trudeau. I'm from Canada, and I've seen how Justin Trudeau's fucked up Canada. America, if you guys vote her in, she is literally going to turn into Justin 2.0. She's just going to be a black Indian woman.
She was specifically tasked by President Biden to be the border czar. Under her helm, 8 million illegal aliens have come into our country, including people on the FBI's terror watch list, MS-13 cartel members, murderers, rapists, violent criminals. I mean, crime in our cities has increased under her watch. She actually encouraged people to donate to a defense fund, a Black Lives Matter defense fund that paid for the bail of a knife murderer, another man who was put in jail because of domestic violence. I mean, she's pretty bad news. She's pretty extreme. She's not in line, even with Democrat voters. She's more radically left.
So one quick qualification, and then I give it back to you, Mallory. The qualification is she was not made the border czar. She was put.
Yes, she was. Okay? Yes, she was.
In charge of studying the migration issues from home countries.
So if someone puts you in charge of studying what's going on with the migration issues, what are they putting you in charge for? To study the migration issues so you can help solve the issue. I don't understand. She's a border czar. It's just that they're flipping it in other ways so that she's not taking control, that she's not supposed to take control of what she did at the border, which was nothing.
Where she was supposed to negotiate with those countries and come up with solutions. So not specific.
Where are the solutions? How come? Listen, if I was Kamala Harris and I'm so determined with what I did with the border, and I believe I did a good job, show us the solutions you came up with. It shouldn't be hard. It should be pretty easy.
Specifically our border czar with that responsibility, but we did never hear anything about it. There was no report, there was no follow-up action, so there's a little stink on her. Not as much as you suggest,
right,
but
so
none
the date
either.
was March 24th of 2021, the day that Biden put her in charge of it. Congress even had a resolution that acknowledged that she was the border czar. I know places like Axios now are pretending that she wasn't the border czar, even though they reported at the time that she was. She actually called her own efforts critical.
This guy Kumo never changes.
To the immigration policy, and I mean, look at the outcome. Do you think that our border is in good shape right now? Do you think that that's?
No, it's terrible.
Do you think that this invasion is? Yeah, it's terrible. And most people, no matter if you're a man or a woman, agree.
I don't even think it's wrong. I don't agree as a man. I agree as someone with eyes. It is. Right. It's so bad you can call it an invasion. But Mallory, notice what Liz is not talking about: reproductive rights. And this is the first cycle since Roe is gone. And people did not want it to go back to the states. People wanted a federal standard. Trump took it away. He is worried about it. We know that, which is why the platform doesn't mention it this year. The party platform doesn't mention gay marriage, doesn't mention reproductive rights. Do you believe?
It doesn't mention those two things because we know how the Democrats are weaponizing these two issues against the Republicans. They keep on saying they're trying to take away gay rights, even though Donald Trump has said he's not even said anything about taking gay rights. And B, abortion. He just gave it back to the states. Each and everyone who's complaining, you guys live in those states. So that means a good majority of people are going along with that law because they like it, which includes women too. And if worst comes to worst, if you cannot live in that area, and I get it, maybe some people can't financially do it, but if it's so terrible, you will get up and leave. Would you not move to another state? That's all I'm going to say.
It could be an issue that transcends economics in this election.
You know, I think that if I can go back to the previous issue and touch on both of them are issues. And I think when you talk to women are smart enough to understand that one single person cannot change a policy issue. There was a bipartisan border deal on the table that Donald Trump made some phone calls and had it killed. So of all of the work that...
But it was a fugazi deal, Mallory. That was a fugazi deal, and it came years in.
She's saying, sure, of course. So this just proves the point that they're only doing it just to win votes. They don't care about the border. Let more people come in. Let more people get into the states. Let more people get into the states. They don't care.
Into the administration.
It did. That's fair. But I do think that as people are looking forward into who's going to take on the role of the presidency, you're going to have to work with Congress to get anything done. Now, on the issue of abortion rights, you're exactly right. There is a very strategic reason that abortion and reproductive rights did not make it into the Republican Party platform, because they've seen that every time abortion has been on the ballot since the Dobbs decision, it has won. Here in Michigan, Proposal 3 in 2022, which effectively codified Roe in our state constitution, collected more signatures than any petition initiative in state history. And it was required by law to collect those signatures from every county. So this was rural areas. This was way up in the Upper Peninsula. This is West Michigan.
That's all we're going to watch for today. And as you can see in this video, you just see how weird and cringe what the left, especially the Democratic Party, is doing. I find it weird personally how you're segregating people and then you're doing it based on their race and gender. I don't see how people don't see that as a problem. And then wild statements were made. White women know how it feels to under a Trump presidency. Okay, can you go deeper into that? What happened? But nothing was said. I think a lot of people in today's society, especially in America, what's going on with American politics is that people really need to be more critical, use more critical thinking skills when it comes to what both parties are doing. But we're really focusing on the Democratic side. Why doesn't it matter about the policies that are being put in place? How come with everything with Kamala, yes, whatever her name is, Kamala, that it's always Donald Trump is evil, Donald Trump is bad, but nothing about his policies? How come she doesn't speak about her own policies that she's vouched for in the past? To me, she just seems like a wishy-washy person. And they're going to use women, black women especially, and white women. They're trying to get white women to win their votes because that's the group that they're trying to go for. And to me personally, I think them taking this tactic, and if it's successful, it's going to set a bad precedent for American politics. And what you're doing right now, to me personally, someone who's watching it from the outside, I feel like it's going to cause more division than the inclusion that you guys are looking for. But hey, that's just my own opinion, and I'm just giving you my honest opinion. So guys, I just want to thank you for staying locked in and keep watching to the end. Again, my name is Toby and this is OT Views. I'm a young YouTube channel and I'm trying to grow. Please tell me anything that you liked in the video, any improvements that you like to see. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. All right, have a good day.